This is a short explanation of how you're going to use soundtrack for getting better at playing songs, writing songs, recording yourself, and all the benefits you can get from doing that. So when you get a link from me to join, it'll take you to an account like this when you fill it in. So, and once you've joined that, you might then see inside that there's a invitation to join a certain project that I'll have invited you to. So when all you do that is you're just going to press accept. Once you've accepted, it'll show up under my projects. So now let's imagine that you've just joined Renegades and you want to go into the studio and record yourself playing along with Renegades. You're going to press studio and the studio window will load, and this is where you can record yourself. So if it's a song project that you're working on, there might be a couple of different things in there. So you can see here it says Renegades slower and it says Renegades minus guitar. You can see here we've got a little option to mute or unmute the track. That one's currently not muted, and this one is muted. So I'm going to mute that one as well. So if I press play, we're now going to hear the slow down track. And this particular mix has got the guitars loud, so you can really hear clearly what you're supposed to be playing along with. So we can hear the guitars are mixed loud and the vocals are quiet. So I'm going to mute that now. This is a version of Renegades that is, I think is this is at full speed. And now those acoustic guitars that we heard before have been taken out. And the idea of that is that you're then the guitar player and you're going to be able to play along and hear yourself in the context of a band. And it's the closest thing that you can get to playing along with a band. And you'll be able to tell how accurately you played by recording yourself playing along. So the way that you do that is you're going to press add new track and press the voice and microphone option, because that's how you're going to use your computer's microphone to be able to record your guitar playing. These other things we may have some use for at some points, but for just simply recording your guitar in, we want this one. Now it'll ask you if it can use your microphone, and it could be the internal microphone on your computer, or you might have some kind of other microphone if you're into music already and you already have a kind of USB mic or something like that, and it would appear in this drop down if you had one. I'm going to press allow, and now you can see it says mic. I'm going to rename that. Now let's say take one guitar, and I'm going to press. If it's a song I'm going to work on over a few days, it might be quite fun or useful to label the date, and I can see how I'm getting on with it. Then I'm simply going to press start recording. Ideally you do want to use headphones, because otherwise it will record what's coming out of the speakers and you playing, so it will record the backing track and your guitar into one track. Whereas if you use headphones, it will only record your guitar, and then you can choose whether to have a backing track in or not. So ideally you're going to have using headphones. And you can also get feedback. So it seems to have the option to record something without headphones, but it's better if you can use them. So I'm going to delete that by doing Control Z, or you could also just highlight it, delete it. So, and I'm going to make this go away by pressing this cross. Down here we've got the metronome, which we can reset, and I've turned it off because otherwise it would be going at a different tempo to the song, but you can obviously have it on if you're starting from, if you don't have a backing track in there. So I'm going to make that go away now. So then you can simply compare your recording with the original. You'll probably find, and you can also see, because you'll be able to line up the beats, the audio signal, you'll be able to kind of see if you're playing in time. So it'll give you a much more precise way of knowing whether you're doing what you think you're doing. And the idea is not to be frustrated if it's not similar. It's just that the more clearly your brain knows what it's aiming for, the quicker you'll be able to do it accurately. So that is how you use soundtrap to record. You can also use the loop function to work on specific bits. That's this little purple thing here. When it's purple, it's looping. If it's grayed out, it's not looping. And that just means that however big or small the loop section is, when it gets to the end, it's going to loop it again. Let's say that you wanted to learn a specific part of the song. You could very easily find that bit, loop it, and really just get to the point where it felt super comfortable before you recorded it. For example, let's say that I wanted to work on the riff at the beginning. I could just go for the slower track, and I could loop it, and I could just spend a period of time just playing along with that at a really manageable tempo. So, if you want to save what you've done, it's important to press save. I don't need to save what I did. I'm going to press don't save. If you've been shared with a project folder, what you record is your specific version. So even if 5 people have had the same song, when you record anything in, it will save it as that song with your stuff in it, and you won't be able to hear anyone else's, no one else will be able to hear yours. If you want to do something, just write something or record yourself playing guitar and just without a backing track or with a drum track, then you're just going to press enter studio, new project, music. We will probably do something with a beat maker, but let's say you just want to crack on with guitar, press new track, voice microphone, the same process as before. So, soundtrap is very powerful, very fun.